Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Brahmamira Striparan Takare. Banushashi Bhamisito. Buddhasha Gurusha Shukra. Shani Rahu Keteva. Sarve Graha Shantikara Bhavantu. Om. Well, greetings and welcome to another episode of Cosmic Kev 100, your weekly astro video zine where we take the planets known as grahas, the houses known as bhavas, and the signs of the zodiac known as rishis, and we put them all together in a mix. And we'll start with sidereal Vedic astrology. And with that, see what I'm drinking? I'm drinking Love today. This is a drink called Love. It's got lavender, chamomile, and jasmine green tea in it. And it's a kombucha. And hey, it's Dr. Brew. They're out of Portland. There's so many good kombuchas out there though, folks. And the best is probably the one that you make yourself. Well, anyhow, looking at the moon, the moon is in the constellation of Taurus, and the part of Taurus that the moon is in is a lunar mansion known as Kritika. Now, Kritika is ruled by the sun, and so Kritika has this nature of honesty, of truth, showing us what's up. Kritika is also where, in Vedic astrology, they say the moon is exalted, so it's a Venus day, it's a Friday. The moon is in Taurus in its exalted position. This is the beginning of a very nice Friday. All right. I know that Good Friday means something else, and but it's a nice start. So these are the last 3 days in Western astrology that the sun will be in Aquarius. In Vedic astrology, the sun's in Aquarius and will be in Aquarius till about the 12th of March or so, or maybe even longer, probably like the 14th, or something like that. In Western astrology, we've got a moon in Taurus going into Gemini later in the morning at like 11:39 a.m. Pacific time. So it'll be a Gemini moon. It's Mercury on a Venus day. It's still a lovely day. And with, the sun in another air sign as well, Aquarius, there's sort of a harmony of energy that we'll be experiencing over the weekend. And so that, and I think that will gradually feel things getting better as the weekend goes on. Now, outside of K2, which would be right over here in Libra, I gotta get myself a symbol of that, the south node of the moon. Everything's on one side of the chart. It's pretty lopsided, in one direction. So it's not always as easy to have really balanced thinking. And most of this horoscope, I'm still doing the Western astrology thing just because that's where the majority of you viewers, your heads are at. I haven't done the artwork yet to make the shift. I kind of want to. I'll probably use a North Indian chart because that's what I'm mostly comfortable with the little triangles in it. But as we go here, we'll just go sign by sign, and I'll give you a fairly quick rundown. The other thing is, please subscribe. I need you to subscribe, share this video. I love your comments. Keep them coming. Thank you. Thank you, friends, for being there. And you mean a lot to me. And it's not my favorite way of making community because I'd like you all to be with me. I mean, I would love to, someday I will do a little astrological tour and visit certain cities and can give you personal readings while I'm there and could set things up, spend some time, get to know your community in a good way, maybe spend 2 or 3 days in a place and then go on to someplace else rather than just place to place to place. That's just nerve-wracking. You know, some places you just don't want, you only want to be there a few hours and you got. Oh my goodness. And if I mention any place that I don't only want to be out a few hours, I, I also would be like, no, that's not true. Because I mean, I'll say like, even like the city of Stockton, okay, Stockton, California's got a really bad rap because of crime and poverty and things like that. But then again, it's like, of all the valley towns, it's probably got the nicest weather because it's near the delta, so it gets breezes off the ocean more, so it's not quite as hot as the other parts of the valley. And it would be a beautiful natural port for people to go to. There's some really cool old architecture there and old parks that still look nice. There's vibe there, yeah, and it's multicultural and yeah, I mean, so no, I'm probably not going to tour Stockton. If you can drive 2.5 hours, you can come up to Chico and see me. You know, that's really it. I'll make it worth your while. Anyhow, we're gonna go sign by sign with this horoscope for this week, and one of the other things happening is the sun moves into seasonal. It's not in the constellation of, and when Western astrologers say that, I just go, I start to cringe because it's like that's not really where it's at. But this being tropical astrology. Yeah, at 8:13 p.m. Sunday night, the 18th, sun goes into tropical Pisces, and so there'll be a little bit of a vibe change from that. There'll be more deeper emotional connection, greater imagination. The shadow side is probably feeling like a victim, being overwhelmed, not being specific. The other thing is that Mercury on Thursday is going to go into Pisces, and that's sort of its debilitation placement. So maybe there will be a little bit more muddled thinking or too much drinking. I'm not really sure, but we'll go with that. Anyhow, Aries, let's start with you. Greetings, Aries. Welcome to your horoscope. So at this point, the sun's moving out of your 11th house, which is a really social house for you, and it's going into your 12th house. So 12th house is a house of loss. 12th house is a house of dreams, of sleep, and it's also a house of karma. And it can also be a house of death and losing life too and stuff. It's kind of like a house of completion, of harvest, and you're reaping. And so what I would say is just like use a lot of caution, because it's like 12th house transits, we tend to have sort of a blind side. And I always kind of think to myself, if you're getting online, social media, responding to things, just like everything you respond to is like kind of recorded forever. And rather than putting a lot of emphasis on what's positive and forward and getting excited that, people are more, from what I've observed, obsessed with what is negative and doesn't work, and they get this, and they're a bad person because they said this. It's like, well, people are more complicated than one thing that they've expressed in social media, but that's not how people tend to do it. There's just we have immediate gratification, immediate annoyances, immediate responses, and just calm down, think about it. The word think is, if it's true, is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And then finally, is it kind? That was a good one. That's, I'll say Anna shared that with me, and I thought that was nice. So Aries, I'd say go through that. Mars is now, with Pluto in Aquarius, in your 11th house. And what I would say is avoid protest rallies. Places where there's large groups of people, or even kind of sporting events where people could get kind of violent, I would stay away from stuff like that. Just, at least for another month and a half till Mars gets the heck out of Aquarius, because it's gonna be nuts out there, folks. We just need to know that. And when does Mars get out of Aquarius? That's a really good, legitimate question. Let's see. It looks like around spring, so right around the 21st, 22nd of March. That's when you're going to get a break, and and then Mars will go into Pisces on the 22nd. So yeah, and I mean that could just be more confusion anyhow than it's worth. I love Pisces. It's one of my favorite signs in the zodiac, but everything's got a shadow side, and you have to be ready for it, folks. That's why I do this. A little astrological GPS. What's the vibe? Greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, after Sunday night, it kind of brings on your social life situation, and it's good in economically too. The 11th house is supposed to generate some money. It brings helpful friends. It helps you with older siblings. So there's going to be this new feeling of emphasis this weekend. This weekend actually is good for your money maker, and as well, because of Moon being in Gemini in your second house. You find your voice here. Maybe you're going to be dealing with family reunion. Venus. I mean, Venus is Venus in Aquarius yet? Venus is going to go into Aquarius, and not so distant future. Yeah, it's supposed to go into Aquarius on today. My goodness, it happens Friday. How did we forget that? Wow. So, I mean, bringing more love and beauty to the workplace will be, having an affair with one of the people at work. Yes, that could happen. I'm not saying it will. And my best Taurus friend, I don't want him to get in any more trouble. He knows who he is. I mean, I'll give you a hint. He's born year of the sheep, but he wishes he was born year of the dog. Little Chinese astrology humor for you, but Greetings, Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope. I mean, Aquarius time has been a good time for you. It rules your 9th house, so there's a lot of luck. There's a lot of good fortune. That good fortune is still with you. As we move into Pisces time, that's more of your career. This is how you deal with your karma with the public. What gifts do you have to share with the rest of the world? That's what's coming out, and that's what we're going to see this week. Now, Mercury also moving into Pisces. You just have to use your thinking cap at work, say the really intelligent things, be careful about not saying the right thing. And it's like there's a lot more pressure, and like most everything, all these planets are like in the public side of your chart. I mean, there's a little personal stuff here, and with Jupiter and Uranus in your 12th house, it's like pay attention to your intuition and your psychic energy, because it's pretty high. And you have a really good way of understanding spiritual things that are inspiring. I'm always amazed when I see people that are spiritual leaders and they focus on all these really negative things. I'm warning you, you're going to hell. It's kind of like, okay, all right. It's just, is that how you invite people to the Lord's table? Is that how you represent the most attractive version of the Son of God? I'm just kind of curious. And most of the people that did this, when they were like money changers taking things from poor people, they weren't getting cords down and whipping them. That's the only time, I really saw the Blessed Savior really, taking some kind of aggressive, negative type of action. I mean, he called out people for doing the wrong thing. But, be careful. Be careful out there, folks. But also do good. and be inviting, be encouraging, you know. It's really, it's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. That's all I'm saying. And there's just too much cursing of the darkness and not enough lighting of candles. Greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, I know Monday the moon's going to be in Cancer. So Monday's like a really fertile moon. There's all this kind of growth, and it'll be like water on the 19th. And whenever there's water sign moon, water sign sun, it's just like this kind of cozy feel good thing. And I want more of cozy feel goods. Cancer is like the cozy feel good sign. I mean, I think for this weekend though, it's probably going to be better if you just sort of lay low, because it is, you know, house of loss. You're probably feeling sensitive. People feel really sensitive today. They feel so sensitive that they want to censor the truth. I mean, I like the list of books on both the left and the right that they want censored. I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Can't you just like put on your big girl pants and your big boy pants and just say, well, let's look at this. This is valid information and we need to analyze it in the historic context of what they meant. But no, we can't have this book as N-word. But if it's done by a rap pop star that's objectifying all the females around them and lots of cuss words, for some reason that's okay and that's acceptable in school. I don't quite, maybe or maybe not, it kind of depends. It's just weird. That's all I can say. For an older person, it's like, this is a very interesting world you're creating for yourself here. And then my super libertarian friends are like, well, I hope they can enjoy their communism. Yeah, it gets weird out there, folks. It really does. I'm just like going, okay. You know, it's kind of like this chart here. You know, all the planets kind of gathered on one side. It's like there's not really a very broad range of ideas or thoughts. In my upbringing, that's sort of a dangerous thing. Now, of course, the most broad-minded people when I was growing up, you know, people like Bobby Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr., they got shot, they got killed, you know, and now they only do that to like journalists and people that are, you know, have dirt on the Clintons or something. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know how it works exactly, but you know, there's videos on it. You know, I can't make, you know, I'm not making this stuff up. You know, maybe they are, but there's videos on it. So greetings, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. I guess by the time we get around to Wednesday, Moon's going to be in Leo Wednesday morning, Thursday. So those are like going to be your power days this week. Sun in Aquarius. It's been lovey-dovey. It could be intense. It could be kind of sexy with Sun moving into your 8th house. But here's the deal. When Sun's going through your 8th house, Leo, other people are calling the shots. And I know you don't like that. You know, your key phrase is I will. And, you know, Aquarius' key phrase is I know. Pisces' key phrase is I believe. And, you know, Sun in Pisces is sort of like muddled truth sometimes. Muddled truth. Yikes. Enigmatic expressions that you can't really decipher what they mean. But, you know, they're being that way so they don't hurt anybody, especially themselves. You know, so... You know, and the other thing, I guess, the little warning part for Leo is this, it's really easy to get in debt this time of year. And so I'm just going to encourage you not to spend too much. I know you like to be generous, and I like generous people. I get it. All right, so greetings, Virgo, and welcome to your horoscope. Yeah, so, I mean, we're not going to see that big fat full moon in Virgo till next weekend, a weekend after this. But we're moving into, you know, the hard work sign of Aquarius is going to pave the way for this romantic 7th house sign of Pisces. So, you know, the romance deal gets a little bit better. And with Mercury moving into your 7th house, you become more of a sweet talker. And with Mars and Pluto in the 6th house, it's a good time to work out and just do your late winter, get myself ready for spring and bathing suit season look better, I mean, keep America beautiful, folks. When you work on your physical health to make yourself healthier, you're making the world more beautiful, and you radiate beauty, and it encourages other people to take care of themselves. And I feel like we've really slipped as a culture and a nation from where we were, say, 60 years ago. People were really fit, even poor people, and there wasn't all the fast food and the high fructose corn syrup. I get that, and all these, I can't even pronounce the words, but I just saw this video on how bad additives are in food, just how many bad things they'll do to your health, your mental health. And so, just like eating real fruits and vegetables, drinking lots of water instead of soft drinks. I know. I'm a hypocrite. I got some kombucha here. It's not as sugary as soft drinks, and there's some cultured stuff in it, but water is the way. And Virgo, you like to be healthy, and everything's about relationship right now for you. It's relationship with other people, and so create good karma with your family. That's super important right now. Okay. Greetings, Libra. Welcome to your horoscope. So here you are, Venus ruled sign. Venus is moving into Aquarius. That's kind of a good deal for you, right? Yes. Pardon me. So Venus in Aquarius rules your fifth house. And the fifth house is where we get into our heart. And so since there's still a big cluster of planets in Aquarius, your fifth house is really active right now. And so matters of the heart, be grounded in your heart. And one of the things I've heard about Western astrology Libras is that they're always waiting for other people to make the first move, because they want to be seen as a considerate person, and they want everything to be in balance. And I wish the world worked that way, and that everybody was on that page with you. But sometimes you got to just do what you want to do, because right now there's so much in your chart involving your children, your health, your lover and their weird behavior, and there's a temptation to spend too much, maybe too. But if you get into your spiritual life and you're really exploring your chart, praying for other people, bringing out the good vibe, yeah, there's some reward in that. Okay. Well, hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your horoscope. So, for Scorpio this week, we've got Moon, Uranus, Jupiter in the 7th house. That does make for a nice relationship. That's going to end up moving into the 8th house. And so we're kind of moving into a new season. We're getting out of this more introspective Aquarius. For you, it's sort of like, I'm staying at home. I just want to be cozy. And then we're going into Pisces. And it's like, wow, I want to open up my heart. I want to do my artwork. I want to do my creative stuff now. I want to spend more time with my kids if I have children. I want to do things that are fun, and maybe travel a little more. So those are all things that Scorpio could be experiencing. I mean, Mars is still in your 4th house, and some of you will be moving as a result of that. You might, with Pluto and Mars, you might be transforming, renovating your residence, your place of living, redecorating, something like that, or getting planned to make a move and just say, hey, if people can cross the border and our border without anything, I should cross the border and get in over that. It's just like, I'll tell you, when you have a hand of like international billionaires that are basically ruling your country and don't really give a flying F about what happens to it, I think that's the real story, folks. It's not even, we got these fake candidates that are kind of like sponsored by banks and the two parties, the Jackass Party, the Elephant Party, and, now there's a We the People Party. That's probably really dangerous to the jackass and to the elephant. you know. But, you know, some people are really scared about the elephant. You know, like, oh, if the elephant comes back, oh my God. You know, and then the other people are like, oh my God, the jackass is really making a donkey out of all of us. You know, and it's like, okay, I get it. And Scorpio, you get it too. And, you know, it's really a time to make yourself at home, focus more on family, adults, kids. Don't worry about the rest of the stuff because it's all just a bunch of BS and it's going to blow over eventually. Hopefully, we don't get blown up before it blows over. That's that's the part we're really concerned about. So we should give everybody weapons. That'll keep us safe. Oh God! Oh boy, yeah, I know. It's not my first life as a court jester, so if you see me on my Facebook page, I confess I'm a sacred clown. This is what we do. Anyhow, greetings Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope. So you know, Jupiter's in Taurus. Eventually this spring, it's going to go into Gemini, but it won't be this week. So like right now, it's like about working on your health. Being a better employee or employer, helping your work environment get better, overcoming obstacles that you have, whether they're health obstacles, work obstacles. That's what you got to do right now. That's the deal. This weekend looks kind of fun. It looks somewhat romantic with the moon in your seventh house, you know, and I mean, it'll be a while before Jupiter aligns with Mars because Mars has got to, you know, that's going to be several months away. But and there, you know, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that is going to go with that I don't even, yeah, I can't touch right now because I don't know. You know, it can go a lot of ways because there's like this whole saying in the Bible: if my people that are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, then will I hear from heaven, forgive them of their sins, and heal their land. I mean, I think we could use some healing of our land right now with all the pollution. And I mean, climate change, the human possibility of implications in that some scientists have indicated. There's also billionaire capitalist implications that kind of oppress poor people in some of these new rulings and stuff, and that don't seem like they're really going to help the planet anyway, so that makes it even more bizarre. And it's just like, dang. I mean, I know here on the West Coast, where I've grown up and lived most of my life, it's a lot warmer. You know, I'd say the last 33 years are significantly warmer than the previous 32 that I had experienced before that. Yeah. So do the math. Yes, that's good. So you got your calculators out. Let's see now. It's pretty much an introspective time. I mean, love your people, your siblings, your community, your mother, your parents, you know, focus on that. Kids, if they need some guidance, they need guidance. Your Sagittarius parent, this is probably a time period where you've noticed your kids could use a little extra guidance right now. All right, greetings Capricorn, welcome to your horoscope. So Saturn's out there kicking it in Pisces. You know, I mean, the sun is going to conjoin with Saturn in a couple weeks, and they have kind of a hard relationship with each other, and so there may be this feeling of malaise or depression or something. I don't, and God knows. I mean, could it be the alleged cyber attack? Do you love, like, you ever watch like Instagram or TikTok or something, and you hear these like computer generated voices? They're not even real voices. That always creeps me out. It always just seems like it makes the story they're telling just a little less valid, or it's just weird. Now, I mean, I know they've got apps that can imitate almost anybody's voice, and that's even scarier. They can make images of faces and all that stuff. And it's like, oh my God! And Capricorn, you know all about this because you use things. You're one of those people that use things. And maybe you've had some hard times relating with your siblings because of Saturn transiting your third house, you know, and so, or writing or communicating, and those are the things to work on. And one of the things about like third house transits It's like in Vedic astrology, we call it an Upachaya house, and these are the houses, I think, are the 3rd, the 6th, the 10th, and the 11th, and you can make improvements. They may not start out easy, but eventually you can make improvements in these houses. So think of this as a time where you're making improvements, especially as the sun's going to move into your 3rd house. You're a little more focused on money, and now you can kind of focus on your neighbors, your siblings, your friends. All right. Greetings, Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope. Man, lots of energy right now. There's Pluto, there's Mars, there's still the Sun there, there's Venus, Mercury, till it moves into Pisces later on in the week. And, you know, the Sun will go into Pisces. I mean, what I see for you is that some new financial opportunities are coming up, and they're going to be bubbling. And actually, you're going to be able to make really good, mature decisions. And if you're disciplined with your cash, which is a lot of what Saturn in the 2nd house as a transit is just being disciplined with what you got. Now, I mean, we could talk about the Uranus thing, you know, being in Taurus. Well, that's kind of your 4th house, your home. Finding inspiration at home, finding inspiration from your parents, finding inspiration in your inner life, you know, inspiration from your mother. That could help. Put a smile on somebody's face. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. The weekend's going to be great for you. Moon will be in your 5th house. You're going to love it. Okay, greetings, Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope. Just winding things up here at rapid pace, folks. I mean, right now, it might have been kind of gloomy, doomy, and there's a sense of loss that you haven't got everything that you need, which is kind of difficult, to be honest with you. We all have needs, and we all need help with our needs. And some of us are really busy, but even in busy people, you have to make time to help other people. And when we help other people, you know, you might have been through a lot of loss, Pisces, through this last month, but things are coming around. Things are going to turn around this week. Sun's going to move into your 1st house. That's a happy place, you know. So Friday's the 16th, Saturday 17th, 18th. That night, that evening of the 18th, Sun moves into Pisces. And so some of that, when you wake up Monday morning, that gloom and doom and some of that not feeling so great about things is going to be elevated. And you're going to be the flavor of the month. Doesn't everyone want to be the flavor of the month, at least for 1 month? Right? Okay. And I want to wish a happy birthday to some of my Pisces friends right now. Alexandra Karakostas, she's a wonderful Western astrologer and a good friend. She knows her stuff. Also to Diane Suzuki in Chico on the 21st is her birthday. I think Alexandra's is on the 22nd. And to Mike Wolfchuk, he's also the 21st of February. And then my friend Rocky's birthday is on the 18th, so there's another person to celebrate. And then I'd say, last but not least, would be my friend Peter, who's having a birthday on the 23rd. I think he's turning 75. It's kind of a milestone, you know. It's 3/4 of a century, Peter. Nice work. And so, thank you. Thank you, Pisces. And, you know, like I say, it's just kind of hang in there this weekend. Maybe just lay a little bit low. You know, don't overexert yourself. I mean, work at home. And then I think coming on strong Monday, Tuesday, you'll be in your happy place. You'll be in your heart, and it'll be a great start to Pisces season. And you'll put some of your best efforts out there. And you've got a lot of inspiration. You've got friends in your court, in your neighborhood. You know, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your comments. And if you want to hook up a reading session with me or something, I do I do WhatsApp around the world, and I do take Venmo and all that kind of stuff. So that's possible too. We can work something out. Until then, subscribe, share. Appreciate the thumbs up. I love you so much. Om Shanti 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 Om Tat Sat.